But really, my religion was more than anything else, it was music. This was my deen. My deen was music. And I worked on soundtracks to films. I worked on the soundtrack to Terminator 2. It was as if this verse was just written for me. No one else. Then when she found out she had cancer, and it was a very bad cancer, only 3 weeks she had to live. For the first time, her heart softened towards Islam.
Bila Allah menghendaki seseorang untuk diberi petunjuk atau hidayah Islam, tidak ada satu makhluk pun di dunia ini yang tahu kepada siapa hidayah itu akan ditujukan dan dengan cara atau jalan seperti apa hidayah Islam itu akan diterima oleh orang tersebut. Demikianlah cara Allah menampakkan dan menunjukkan kebesaran dan kekuasaannya atas manusia dan seluruh alam semesta, bagi orang-orang yang berpikir untuk merenungkan keberadaan Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Dan pria Inggris yang satu ini adalah seorang musisi dan pembuat soundtrack film, pernah bekerja sama dengan musisi dunia Stevie Wonder dan pernah membuat soundtrack untuk film Terminator 2, yang dibintangi oleh Arnold Schwarzenegger. Pria Inggris ini mendapat hidayah dari Allah dengan jalan yang tidak pernah terpikirkan oleh siapapun. Al-Quran ini adalah hadiah yang termahal melebihi apapun di dunia ini yang diberikan Allah kepadaku, ujar pria ini.
So my name is Rahim Jung. I was born here in London, in fact only a few hundred meters from here. I've always lived in London all my life. My father came here from India in the 1940s, but his family were originally from Hijaz area of Arabia. But my mother's family are Irish. So my mother and father, they met here in London. My mother was Irish Catholic. So we were brought up in a very liberal family, not really following one faith or the other faith. In fact, following no faith.
Saya bekerja pada salah satu perusahaan rekaman yang paling terkenal. Perusahaan rekaman itu adalah Motown Records. Di Motown Records itulah saya mulai bergaul dengan orang-orang yang berbeda. Jadi jika saya memikirkan, ada beberapa orang yang saya temui atau beberapa orang yang pernah bekerja dengan saya bekerja dengan Stevie Wonder dan Stevie Wonder adalah salah satu artis rekaman terbesar di dunia yang saya atur. Saya berada di tim yang menyelenggarakan pesta ulang tahun yang ke-40 Stevie Wonder dan peluncuran albumnya yang berjudul Jungle Fever.
And I worked on soundtracks to films. I worked on the soundtrack to Terminator 2. In fact, many of the singles that I worked on went diamond, platinum. They had all those discs. So we used to get awarded all those discs.
Kami tidak memiliki tekanan untuk mengikuti agama. Saya tidak mengikuti agama apapun. Ibu saya Kristen, saya bukan Kristen. Dan tidak ada Islam dalam hidup saya. Dan yang benar-benar menjadi agama bagi saya adalah musik. Apapun itu adalah musik. Inilah agama saya. Agama bagi saya pada saat itu hanyalah musik.
But really, my religion was more than anything else, it was music. This was my deen. My deen was music. When I look back now, there were certain steps that brought me closer to Islam.
Yang pertama, ketika sepupu saya berangkat haji dan menolak untuk berlibur bersama saya di musim panas. Sekembalinya dari haji dia berubah total, dia mulai memelihara janggut dan tidak pernah lagi keluar malam bersama kami untuk bersenang-senang. Dia mulai serius mempraktekkan ajaran Islam, dan setiap kali ketemu dengan saya melihat dia selalu bahagia, sangat-sangat bahagia.
To change. My career started to have some problems. My relationships started to have some problems, but my heart started to feel different. And I remember saying to God, if you help me in this situation that I'm in now.
Saya akan meninggalkan semua perbuatan dosa dan saya akan membuka Al-Quran dan saya akan membaca Al-Quran. Dan ketika saya membuka Al-Quran dan saya membaca Al-Quran terjemahan Inggrisnya pada hari itu, seperti ada keajaiban dan ayat yang saya baca dalam terjemahan Inggrisnya itu artinya, setiap kesulitan pasti akan datang kemudahan.
Like a miracle, you know? Because I was very desperate at that time, and I didn't know where to go. It was as if this verse was just written for me, no one else. that I didn't even know Allah, God, whatever, but that this book somehow knew exactly what I needed at that point and at that time. So it was like a miracle. Then when she found out she had cancer, and it was a very bad cancer, only 3 weeks she had to live. For the first time, her heart softened towards Islam, just a little bit. But it was, wallahi, it was a miracle, because it was step by step by step. But the key thing, one of the key things, was she called me one day when she was very close to dying. She called me and she said, look, I don't want to be buried. I want to be cremated. So I said to her, no problem. But I said, tell me this. If you're cremated, who's going to do it? She stopped. She said to me, well, what's the alternative? So the alternative is if you die, then your sons, me and your sons, we will carry you. No one else will see you. And we will take you to a place, and your daughter and your daughter-in-laws, they will wash you, and they will prepare you, and they will wrap you in a simple white cloth. No one will see you. And in one day, we will bury you in the ground, with no coffin, with no fuss, very, very simple. She said to me, that's what I want. She said, that's what I want. But now I had a problem. She's not Muslim. So she phoned my brother and sister, and she said, I want a Muslim burial. I would just try very slowly to give her small bits of dawah. If there is a creator, do you think maybe he sent messengers? Do you think maybe he sent people as guides? One day she said, yes, I believe that. So Sheikh, for me, I was happy. For me, I was happy. She believes in a creator, she believes in messengers. Inshallah, I have an excuse. I can make dua for her. I can say to the Imam, inshallah, we bury her as Muslim. But my son, he was then 14 years old. He said, it's not enough. He said, it's not enough. He said, she has to say Shahada. So I was scared, because I thought if he tries to make her say Shahada, then she will say, no, I don't want to say this. And then I have a problem. He said, don't worry, Abba, don't worry. I will talk to her. So he went up to her bedroom. He said, and I was downstairs for like 1 hour. And I was walking around, oh my God, what's happening? Did she say yes? Did she say no? And he came down. He said, easy. He said, no problem. I said, what? He said, she gave Shahada. I said, properly in Arabic? He said, yes, Arabic fully. No problem. And maybe 2-3 days later, she died.
Subhanallah. Mari kita doakan agar saudara kita Rahim Jung tetap istiqomah dalam iman Islam dan terus menyebarkan kebenaran Al-Quranul Karim di Inggris Raya. Amin ya robbal alamin.